fucking chick.
Ya tú sabes que yo necesito dinero para yo salir por la noche. Ya tú sabes lo que la. I ain't living on mi casa if there's no money. No, I don't fuck with you niggas. You niggas is funny. Hustle, I hustle, I hustle. I hustle till morning. No, I don't need no new friends. All I need is the money. Finger fucking check.
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 Finger fucking check. Finger fucking check. Finger fucking check. Finger fucking check. Finger fucking check. Finger fucking check.
All right. What is up, everybody? You're tuning into Horizontal Refreshments Season 3. We are back from our break. Our month break. And we are here. We're live. It's warm in here. And but I can feel the little breeze. But it's good.
Hot in here.
Yeah, I feel. No, ain't no fan behind me. Where's that air coming from? This air coming from somewhere. Okay, that's what that is. But yeah, so we're back. In case you forgot after the month break, or those who just been waiting, I'm Jamal P.
I'm Donnie Akeem, whichever you prefer. Donnie with a Y, by the way, and I like this dumb bitch did my drink at Starbucks this morning. It's spelled it with a Y.
I am Brick Brack, aka Caramel Fantasy, which was my blink handle back.
I remember this. I remember this.
She went back.
Way
Way back in the time.
Yes, and we are talking about a lot of good stuff today. But before we go into that, we also just want to introduce our special guest today, who goes by many names. But I guess if I get this right, it's Corey the Advocate today. Yes, how you doing, Corey?
Pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Get right up on the mic. Yeah, well, we can hear you.
into it.
Today's topic.
You got
It
right
fell
up
out.
It fell out. Slippery
Gotta be
when
quicker
wet.
than that.
But yeah, so obviously, like I was saying, we've been gone for a bit. So how was everyone's break from the show?
Our break was cancer season. Toot, woo, whatever. I had a horrible trip to Chicago. I don't even want to get into the details of why that trip was horrible. Nobody told me Harvey, Illinois was the ghetto. Our hotel room, just long story short, just to give you one bad aspect, our hotel door would not lock. So we came back from a night out and our hotel door was open. But we knew they didn't lock, so we had all our stuff in the car because we were going to try to figure it out when we got back. We ended up getting a refund and still staying there that night.
Okay.
So we just put the latch on the door. So that was that on that. These two celebrated a birthday during that time. So happy belated. Threw her a surprise birthday party.
Hey, that was dope as fuck.
What was supposed to be a surprise?
Not the
Oh, not where you was at, girl. I mean, boy.
That seemed
There
like a
was
long
a party
time ago.
prior to
That was over a month
where they
ago.
let me show up looking ratchet as hell.
Ooh, not your surprise part.
Yes. Like Doug could have told me to at least take my scarf off or something. Like I had my scarf. I'm like, I'm just going to my brother's house for the BT Awards. I'm finna eat and be fat and talk shit. I'm just gonna be comfortable. These motherfuckers, like somebody could have told me, just like, bitch, just be on guard, just in case we take pictures or something. Like that would have been the smart lie.
No, he told you, ho, come outside.
I was happy as hell, but I was mad because I'm like, these motherfuckers know I would have wanted to be dressed for this.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but it was dope. But that definitely seems like a long time ago.
It does. That was
It do.
June 28th.
Oh,
It was a while ago. Yeah.
I guess it was.
It was a week before your birthday, which is July 4th. So there was that. We celebrated the 4th. I didn't celebrate with either one of y'all, but I was with Terrell and Berto and one of our other coworkers.
I
That
don't
was
remember
fun.
what I did actually.
I feel like after y'all birthdays was over, I just was watching everybody else have fun. I didn't really do too much in July.
I
after that.
didn't do much after
Busy.
my birthday or after his backyard barbecue.
Yeah, I think your backyard barbecue.
Shout
No,
out.
the Bucks. How could I forget?
Bucks.
I was
They
down.
won in my
their
Oh, yeah,
birthday
we
month.
went to their district.
Yeah. Yes, I had to be there when
That
yes.
experience was cracking this.
It was a lit game. I don't like watching full games. I can't watch full games. I was checking the score. We were losing at first. And then when I finally went down there, which is like the end of the third quarter going into the fourth, I'm like, oh, this shit is close. I want to be down there if we win because I want to feel the energy. So I went down there, linked up with David, and had a ball down there.
I was mad because the night I went to the Deer District, motherfucking Berto ass was down there, and I didn't find out until the next day.
Berto be everywhere.
That
Nah,
I
Berto
should
don't
have
sit
known to
still.
just text him just on GP.
I'm saying, if you want to know where the party at,
Ask
call
Berto.
Call Berto. Exactly.
Yeah, I was down there. It's funny. I was down there too. I mean, you live down there, so you experienced it all.
Man.
But I was down there. That was the day I got back from Vegas.
I didn't know he was
actually.
down there. Because I went down there by myself, and some was like kind of like with Berto. David, I know he always gonna be out too. So I'm like, let me call David, see where he at. So I called David, and I linked up with David. I didn't know you was back from Vegas yet,
Yeah.
so I would have called you too. We all could have went
I
out
know.
together.
Because
But
that was and I think I just went home because it was like, okay, it's done. But that was the day. Yeah, I got back. I definitely took a 6-hour nap before I woke up. I'm like, well, the game has started. I guess I'm gonna go down there. Otherwise, I definitely would have been home. But yeah, it was a magical moment. Yeah, you had to be there to experience it. You know what something like that did for Milwaukee and just all our communities who really felt that win. And I think because speaking for myself and probably a lot of other people, it just felt different for us. And there's room, and I would say that there's room for everybody in celebrating this. Bandwagon
Absolutely.
people are important because they bring money regardless. But people who've been in the city and been working here and grinding here and been with the Bucks forever, it's.
I want to say
special.
something about the band people who have issues with the bandwagon hoppers, aka myself. Let me tell y'all something about that. Y'all should be happy for anybody supporting what you love, even if it's just for that moment. So if we from the city and we don't watch basketball, but we got into this moment, embrace this. Period.
Yeah, that's it's a
that's
room for everybody.
That's what the bandwagon was for you?
Yeah, like bandwagon hoppers, like I don't watch this shit.
Oh, I thought the bandwagon hoppers were, the niggas that didn't live in Milwaukee.
It's
but then
them too.
came to
Oh,
Milwaukee
like
and
you
was
talking about Gucci Mane?
No, we're talking about the people who live in Waukesha.
I was talking about the Waukesha, the Sussex, and the Pewaukee, and the.
That came out of nowhere
Yeah,
to
out of nowhere.
have a party,
I'm scared of Milwaukee.
but don't want to be
As
here on the regular.
As a black woman from 33rd motherfucking hour,
Say that
motherfucker,
shit.
I felt like nigga. Finally, motherfucker, here, nigga. Fuck y'all talking about? The fuck? I'm gonna be talking cash money shit for
tell me.
years
Oh, my
after
life.
this. We
Hell
gotta
yeah.
win out another championship.
Oh, but we
I'm
going
gonna talk
somewhere.
Cash money shit forever.
I swear, whenever I go somewhere, they gonna be like, "Where you from?"
Milwaukee,
No,
nigga.
no, fuck that.
Big
I'm be like
Bucks,
Bucks
nigga.
in the 6.
What's happening?
Oh,
God.
you guys were happy, weren't you?
You're damn right.
I'm from Buxton
Cause
City.
we've been the underdogs for so long. Motherfuckers think it ain't nothing but farmland
50
and white
years,
people
nigga.
and shit.
50 years.
Like,
Whenever I
We
go,
always
especially in the
knocked out.
South, when I'm traveling South, especially, they're like, "Where you from?" Milwaukee. It's black people there. My nigga, the city of
They feel
Milwaukee,
like
not
that
the
in New
county,
York,
but the
too.
city of Milwaukee is almost predominantly black. So let's
Yeah.
keep it all the way P. Shout out to
Motherfuckers
you.
don't
Shout out
know.
your hood. I want to shout out my 18th and Hampton. What it do? Hand squad.
Man.
I
Hang it
guess
up.
I shout
Hang
out
it
my
up.
it's
too.
important to the inner city. Like,
Which is 19th in Hampton.
Oh, we from the same
So-
hood.
like it's cool, it's cool for everybody else. But if you grew up in the inner city and you know that struggle, my nigga, like that was for us. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That was for us.
They could be fans of Wisconsin sports, as he's saying. They could just, but they scared of Milwaukee. Milwaukee's ghetto.
True.
And Sheboygan. And Sheboygan better. Yeah, y'all back. Yes, we heard y'all cry,
Yes.
child.
Yes, we are back. And-
Oh,
Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
I have to shout out my cousins real quick, Bianca and Jayla, because they was on my ass. Like when I say they both got on me, like, did you motherfuckers take a break? Where the fuck did y'all go? I didn't know my cousins was listening like that. So Hey y'all, thanks for listening, Bianca. And
Thank you,
Kayla.
Joey.
Hey, Joey.
We
And
miss you
Joey.
too, Joey, with your Houston living ass.
Period.
We need to plan like
Under
a
that
trip.
Texas sky.
I do want to say though, like our last show, I want to say was right around the time you threw your Pride event. I want to say it was the week before that because
Yes.
it's actually been 6 weeks. It hasn't been a month.
Yeah.
We've been saying that, but it's not really been a month. But I wanted to do that. Anyway, but a lot of people at your event were like, I was just humbled by how invested a lot of people were into the show and who wanted to be on and who was watching and stuff like that. So shout out to your cousins, but shout out to the community and everybody of any community that watches us. And
Speaking of that, I met a few people at your barbecue that said that they listened to the show, and I wish I could remember the guy's name. That I had to go back because it didn't sink in at first that like people really fuck with us like that. So like I was sitting there, I was smoking and shit, and I'm like, I should have asked Buddy his name. Like, what the fuck? So I had to go back to him and ask him his name. I wish I could remember now. I'm sorry, sir. I smoked too much. My apologies. But I met a few different people at the barbecue. Though.
You will always meet a few different people at the barbecue.
with Jamal.
At Jamal's barbecue.
Absolutely. And they all was cool ass motherfuckers.
I'm telling you.
Boy, and got as drunk as a bitch.
Yeah.
Dude, my boyfriend was saying like, not just at Jamal's party, but just like with our friend group in general. Like he never seen so many people get together and not have no issues. Like everybody is coming, love, peace, and having a good time. Might see a motherfucker slumped over, drunk,
or high,
or too high to move, but never no physical altercations, arguments, all that shit. We coming.
I think, and I attribute that to us knowing who to, I guess, not necessarily associate us because we associate with a lot of people, but to know who like our real like people are, who we really like fuck with. So like we support people, hang out with people, stuff like that. But things like that, or when we get into intimate settings, it's generally the same people you see, and I think that's why there's never any drama. You might have the bigger events where it's more people, but something like my backyard barbecue, not everybody was gonna be there.
And they know you don't carry yourself like that. Like it's definitely a vibe. It's definitely a mood when we around you. So it's like if you ain't come to have fun,
if you bring that shit to my party, your life is over.
I just want to reiterate the first episode of the new season. Jamal don't gotta fight.
Okay. He
We
showed
fight.
He showed I could see us damn near pushing each other, fighting each other to get at the motherfucker to fight for Jamal. Because I don't see none of us going. Like, you make Jamal mad, you in trouble. Right?
Yeah, right, bitch, you gotta go.
Because you
gotta
did
go.
something wrong,
Right.
goddamn it.
You got to go.
Yeah,
he ain't perfect, but he's not about the drama.
Yeah, the one thing about me is I'm about a good time and bringing people together.
A lot of twerking.
Yes,
right.
All of that.
It's a whole lot of money.
But yeah, so I guess we get right into what the main topic is today, which I'm sure will reach and cross all types of, we'll get into it all. But we are talking about sex work and everything under that, umbrella.
Yeah, it's a spectrum.
It is a spectrum. I mean, I think we should start by defining it. Do we have a collective definition of what sex work is, what it entails?
I never really thought of a definition.
Is sex work and prostitution the same thing, or is prostitution an outdated term? Like,
I think that's
how
for me.
It's an outdated term.
It's outdated.
Term, but I think it's like under the umbrella because not all sex workers do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like some of them just go on dates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or have a just for fans or something like that. Do online type of sex work.
Don't get me wrong. The streetwalker is still out there.
Oh, it's one by my house. It's one by my house. When I say, and she don't, well, I can't stereotype. I was gonna say she don't look bad as if they all supposed to have a look, but she looks really, really good. But the reason I started noticing that she was a streetwalker or sex working is because she has times. She's only out there during a certain time, and she's always dressed up. and it just looked like she smelled good.
You so irritating.
What block does she walk
I don't. These people didn't know where I live.
Look, you can know where the old hood is, but not the new
all
hood.
I know is Wisconsin Avenue and
I live in that area.
And is that Lisbon or North?
Yes, that's
And
Lisbon.
Atkinson, don't forget Atkinson.
And Atkinson,
Child.
it's a few prominent streets where you can see a bunch of them.
And
walking
let's
down the
not
street.
get it twisted, male and female.
Oh hell yeah!
It's male.
Where you see male streetwalkers on Atkinson at? I mean,
I
it'd be a
don't
lot
wanna
of niggas out there. That if it's one place in the city where I don't want to get out my car at, and I ain't scared of no nigga, you know, like
I
so.
feel
But if it's one place in the city where I don't want to get out my car, it's Atkinson.
I feel you.
Right.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about Atkinson. I'm talking about in the Wisconsin
Oh.
area.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, Atkinson. I'm not getting out my car either. I barely want to stop at the red light. I might run that motherfucker to get out of the area. But not you. That's my brother's best friend. What are you? You
Right.
do
I don't
sex
know.
work?
Like, I don't know what me means.
Ain't no woman
But,
paying for that
you know, Chris Lee used to live over there too.
Ooh, Chris, you.
Kristen. No,
He just used to live.
he used to live
Close
by
by
us.
us.
He's shouting out hoods. We still shouting out hoods.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, he was named-
But you know, even
You got
though
a
with
19th Hampton on here too. You know. Mhm.
and even though like a lot of these things are like stereotypical or historically have been those things. I mean, Wisconsin and that whole area is going to change in the next couple of years. And you already see the change. Marquette has moved more and more west than they ever have like the last 10, 15 years. So
Buying up everything.
so the area, I feel like,
We're gonna be like college kids.
yeah. And it's I feel like better
White
now
college
than it was
kid.
like, you know, I probably wouldn't live
Jeffrey
there
Dahmer days.
10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Jeffrey Dahmer days, you can pay me to live over there, but I live in that area now, and I
Mhm.
don't feel unsafe.
This is really off topic, but when I worked for Bank Mutual, there was a customer that looked exactly like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Stop
And this
playing.
motherfucker would come in with the jean jacket and the glasses. I swear to God. Every time he would come in, me and my homegirl would be hitting each other and shit like, bitch, you take it, you take it, bitch, you take it. Like this motherfucker look like he gonna eat one of us. Like seriously. Like, we
Hell
was
no.
scared shit.
Ain't that like every white biker guy in Milwaukee
Nah,
though?
man. No, they look
No, they all don't wear
identical for real.
glasses, and it's a type of glasses.
It's a
they
type
wear.
of shade. Them silver
Them
ones.
ABA.
Yeah.
But see, them they
Joe
were-
Biden look.
They was like, I don't even know how to describe them glasses, but nigga, when I say they looked identical, I'm talking Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen type shit. For real.
I cannot do.
Scary.
But
Anyway.
it's still sad that I don't want to say sad. Child, I gotta change my vocabulary sometimes. It just amazes me because I say stuff is funny that I don't mean it's funny, and then when I say stuff is sad, I don't actually mean it's sad, but I know I have to work on that in order to be politically correct and I offend nobody. But it amazes me that certain areas are known for that, like you know where to look for certain things. So, has anybody here ever looked for those things?
My next
I
question.
mean, not to purchase, but I'll be looking while I'm driving.
Yeah. You know, you see him
Because
out
I'm
there like
judgmental as hell. I'll drive past on Lisbon and be like, bitch, you ain't finna make no money with that outfit on. You need to go change.
and don't get me wrong, like I didn't pay for sex before, but I ain't
We all have.
okay.
I ain't never.
I don't
You
think
wanna
we
tell
talk
me
about
about
you don't pay in
I don't
cash.
think- what you mean? You don't
I'm
pay
not
cash?
saying hold on.
But we pay in
You don't
different
always
ways.
pay in cash,
Cause
but I think you always pay for sex.
Absolutely.
shit, not always.
Not always, but for the most part.
I think 9 times out of 10 you paying for sex, even
I
in a
pay for-
relationship.
I pay
it
for
be
the sex I
literally
can't have.
I was just about to say it'd be literally times where Doug will do some shit like some shit I don't expect him to do, and I'm like, oh, you want some good ass pussy tonight,
Right.
nigga? Like,
He paid for it.
you know,
He paid
like,
for
you
it.
pay for it, yeah. Like
That's
When you
it.
do stuff,
That's
when you do
it.
stuff,
you
it
want
doesn't
some
have
of
to
that
be
premium
monetary.
tonight.
Like, you do something in exchange for sex. I feel like that's paying for it. Don't always have to be monetary. So,
That
like,
is true.
if like how these girls, some of them have sex and they get bags. That's you
Some
pay
of them
for it.
do, yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
have
it
y'all
always had to be a cash transaction.
so have y'all ever received some sort of transaction for a sexual
See, he
Ask the question again.
All in
you
my
must be
mouth.
good at what you do. The mic wants you. The mic
come
is
here.
like,
And
Yeah. So, like, have y'all ever received some sort of transaction for a sexual act?
Oh
Yes.
I did actually. Now that I think about it.
And I have rules too.
Ooh.
So back to the original question though. My definition of sex work, is like you said, the exchange of sex for a good, whether that good be money, a service, some type of assistance, shit, mental health. Cause some of the niggas just want to talk. You know, I don't trust none of these other bitches, and you pretty to look at while I'm talking to you too.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
I agree with that definition. And so I think that would mean that a lot more people have participated in sex work than are willing to admit. Now, I participated in the traditional form of it.
You was on the street.
No, not that traditional. Not that traditional, but when I had my first place, I moved in with an ex. I don't even think I ever told you this. I moved in. I know I told you though. I moved in with an ex. That didn't work out. I ended up losing my job. There were 2 months where I didn't have any income coming in. I was trying to take out loans. Loans only cover certain things. And so using Jacked, I started like charging for stuff. So
That just sound like survivor sex though.
I mean, yeah, but survival sex could be sex work too. It doesn't make it any less sex work because you add survival into it,
right.
you know. So that's
a limited edition sex.
And you actually did tell
Jen
me
only.
about it.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I
I be
just-
forgetting.
Honestly, I forgot all about it until you brought it up just now. Because I remember when you told me, I remember saying like, well, shit, motherfucker, if I had to, I would too. Shit.
No, I do because I can type shit. Like,
Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
Hey, this my favorite kind of sex workers. I ain't gonna lie to you.
If I could get an extra 40,
The motherfuckers, they be like, bitch, I do
40.
it because I can and I will.
$40.
for those $40.
That's very cheap. I'm in this expensive hole.
Right. Well, someone wanted to suck my dick for $50 once, but I wasn't going because it was this guy. I think I told this earlier too. There's a guy I hooked up with once.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then he kept trying to find me. He kept making different profiles, and I just wasn't interested.
creepy.
And then one time he was in this profile. He's like, "I pay you $50." I'm like, "All right." I'm about
See,
to be up on the way.
that's a timed fee.
But he then was like, "Just so you know, I'm the Latin guy that you fucked." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm coming
Let you
anymore."
got my money on the nightstand, goddamn it. Just show me the money first, though,
Do y'all think that the rate should be based on the services, like who's getting pleasure? Like if I'm paying you to suck your dick, I could kind of lowball it a little bit because you received the pleasure.
What?
You don't think so?
You want to suck my dick? I didn't want you to suck my dick. I didn't ask you to suck my dick.
Okay, so if somebody was like, like his situation, somebody was like, "I'll pay you $50 to suck your dick."
You want to suck my dick? I want
Okay,
you
so
to suck my dick.
if you were the type of person like, "No, I need 100,"
Oh,
you don't
then.
think that's overdoing it? Like you
Hell
getting the
no.
pleasure.
I'm gonna see what the response is. Then we'll go from there.
Do you know your worth?
Okay, say know your worth. Know your worth. And then add extra.
Align with yourself.
Yeah.
But I can't say I never paid to pleasure someone else. I don't really like doing that anyway. I have to be in love to even want to suck dick, do all of that little extra stuff. So
I've been begged.
but shit,
I have.
we all been
Like,
big.
If it was a straight dude that gave me like I fuck around vibes, then yeah.
Bisexual dude then.
No. Because sexuality is a spectrum. Like, and I feel like when people start talking about other people's sexuality, respect go out the door. You know?
I think so.
So it's like, no, I mean,
Well, that's
just
a slippery
because he
slope.
likes that, that's not what he identifies. Or just because he's experimenting with that, don't mean that he like that.
Right.
Like
That is true because we allow women
Yeah.
that freedom to
And
do
we
that.
went into
But I
that
think
before.
that after a certain amount of experimentation, you like it.
Yeah,
So
like
you-
Tank, baby, come out the closet.
but it's like still like even though if I like fucking a man, that don't make me gay because I don't want to be with a man. If I'm still with my woman, if I'm still like if that's what we do.
I can't get with that one.
You
I can't
lost
get
me.
with that one. I
I was almost with you.
I can get with experimentation and being like, I when I was in my 20s, in my college years, I had sex with a guy or two, 3 or 4 even, and I didn't like it, and I know I'm straight, and this is what I like. Or I liked it, and now I have casual sex with men. If you're having continuous sex with men,
So how long
feel like
is the
you're
experimental
bisexual.
stage?
The experimental phase,
Or it might be pansexual.
Cause shit, I'm still
could be.
experimental.
but the
Yeah.
experimental phase, you're not experimenting. Well, I don't know what you experimenting with,
Right.
so let me.
Not right.
$1,300 on a leash.
She loved that embarrassment.
Period.
Please.
Okay.
Oh well, where the lady at? She
Can
can
you
walk me
sit
on the
there
leash
to-
any day.
Was she white?
Hey,
Please hurry up and answer, Devontae.
hey, black women like freaky ass shit
Yeah.
too.
I think for
I
me,
ain't never met a
yeah.
black woman that wanted to be pulled
gotta
on the
talk
leash.
to more
Now,
black
the
women.
craziest thing I've ever heard from, and that's just the black women that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But the craziest thing I ever heard was this bitch want like the largest penis in her pussy. I'm like, bitch.
So like a dildo that was that long, or
No, she want a man who has a leg for a dick in her
Well,
pussy.
I mean,
there aren't
The whole
too
everything.
many, but she gonna have to do like some
Yeah.
phone book research.
Some phone book research.
That
Kegels.
sound very. That sound like
You know, when we were in Minnesota, we saw
Ooh.
like dildos that were like that
Yeah, we
big.
saw large dildos, and they're not for me. I actually don't like big dicks. So
a big dick
I don't
is
either.
okay.
amazing.
This big is too like there is something as too motherfucking big.
if
I
you
mean,
over
a
8,
nice
keep it.
elbow though.
Well, what's the biggest that you had in you?
In me,
Yeah.
Yeah,
This long from to the tip of your middle finger.
You want to think that?
I've
That's a
never seen
big-ass
that one.
dick,
Never.
bro.
Probably like
That's an animal
This-
dick. She was
14.
Dominican,
you said
See, I knew she
14?
wasn't black.
but Dominicans
that's
got an
big.
arm.
Because you
They
know,
close.
but like
They cousins.
because size, because Corey answered, he said 14 inches,
What?
and we talked about how dildo, like, because we
Listen.
think stuff is smaller than what it is. So I mean, 14 is
dildos would
potentially
be-
this size or longer. I think it's
Mhm.
actually longer.
I'm good. My husband's dick is perfect. I'll
so is
stick
my
with
boyfriend.
that size.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
but dick is an experiment.
Yeah.
It is.
Listen,
I'm done experimenting.
listen.
But look,
It's too much. goddamn
after 8
work.
inches,
That don't mean an
Keep
experiment
it.
with my. Oh,
keep it. I don't
just
want it. I don't want it in me.
oh, okay.
I don't want it in me. It's nice to look at. Oh my god, it's so big.
Pretty, right? It's so big and pretty. Oh my god.
Keep it over there.
Just be looking at my shit.
Sucking it? No, and then girth matters too. If it's too girthy, I don't want it.
Wait, you ain't
Oh
gonna
wait,
suck
now
it.
hold on.
You ain't gonna
14 inch
suck
dick.
it.
I didn't think my mouth
You ain't
open
gonna
14
suck
I
inches.
for a dick to scrub them walls. I like
I don't even
liquor.
think my mouth open 14 inches to suck a 14 inch dick.
You ain't gonna
Ow.
even suck it.
No.
Well, you know I got a big ass mouth, so we just gonna move along on that one.
That gawk gawk 3000.
I got the reject gulp 3000. They threw me away.
I'd be so
Return to
disappointed
sender.
every time you talk about your dick sucking skills.
They are
Not disappointed.
They are
Oh
not.
my God.
Because
They are
me and his other sister Lauren,
Pretty
my-
much all my friends, except for Alex,
my throat
they all
goat
like sucking dick.
sister.
I would rather eat ass than suck dick.
I mean, it depends
That's
on the
because you're
dick,
lazy.
and
It's
it depends on
easier.
the ass.
It's less of a
Look,
challenge.
this is my thing. If
Eating
you're not
ass
moaning while I'm
gets
eating it,
tiring.
if you're not, if I can't tell your pleasure, I have to like work harder.
Someone
And that's
get
tongue muscles and shit.
But that's
that.
like
You gotta-
relaxation too. Like if you
But
just relax, then I can feel
But
like your
that's if
back
they
muscles
don't
going in, and I'm
hunt,
eating
though.
your ass. I'm doing a great
And
job.
depending on how
That's
long your
still
tongue
less
is,
work
it
for
might
you
be
than-
more
for
work
you
to
than
eat
sucking
ass.
dick.
My tongue is not that long, so I do have to work like
Yeah,
harder
you
to
gotta-
pleasure. Like I gotta know the right
Tricks.
pressure points to And then some people
But
don't
you
like
gotta
biting,
eat-
some people do.
Oh no.
No.
Don't bite my booty hole.
Or some people like suck it or like.
He said,
No, that
The suck is cool. The
Yeah.
suck-
"What, you like
But-
your booty hole suck?"
like I'm not talking about.
suck
I
is cool.
ain't
Too
talking
hard.
about biting like you
Hey,
do it like
That's what it
so,
sounded
No,
like.
no,
It sounded
no,
like-
real shit though.
Like-
I've had to do
like
it.
nibble on the
Oh,
ass.
okay. Well,
I've
say
had to
nibble,
do
nigga.
it
Don't say
where,
that.
like, we've had to stop fucking because, like, bro, why you biting my ass? Like, I know it's a
But
triple
this is the
chocolate
thing.
fudge.
This is the thing. Because I mean, when you're having casual sex, it's hard to have those type of conversations sometimes. But when you are in a relationship, you kind of know what your partner likes. So I've had
No.
several partners. Some of
Wait,
them,
so you
some of them
said-
like it rougher, and some of them don't like certain shit.
I'll say this. In the beginning, it was easier for me to say something to somebody I was having casual sex with than it was for me to say something to Doug in the beginning. Now I be saying whatever the fuck I want to. I just told his ass I can't wait to sit it on his dick the other day. Literally, like
that's regular every day's, relationship.
that
shit.
was right after giving him head. So yes, but yeah. So
I think casually, like when
mind.
when I was having casual sex, it was harder for me to tell them that I didn't like something. I probably wouldn't tell them I didn't like it. I would be like, let's try this. Let's do this instead.
I don't know. You got 2 times with me. I'm gonna
nice.
tell you about it the first time, and if you ain't got it right the second time, I'm gonna ghost you.
You only got 1 time with me apparently, because one time I was messing with this dude. He tried to stick it in my booty hole, and I was not okay with that. So I backflipped. No, and so I backflipped off the bed and got the fuck. I was like, "Hey, you have to take me the fuck home." Right after that, like, nah, bruh.
A full somersault.
I ain't
Now you turned into Simone Biles.
I've never backflipped before in my life, but baby, Olympic gymnast came to play.
My coworker Darisha, she said it tickles. What tickles? Getting your booty ate, friend? It feels good to me.
Or getting it nibbled on. Yeah.
If everything done the right way.
I like a little pain and pleasure. A little pain is pleasure. So like bite my nipple a little bit. Like bite. Don't bite me like you finna eat me, but like.
See, no, I
bite me, slap me, choke me.
Did you slap me or choke me? We fighting.
See, I had this one trick.
Me a little bit.
I had this one trick. He slapped the shit out of me.
Ooh, not that hard.
Without asking you or warning you.
No warning. I wasn't expecting it. Like I know our shit was usually rough, but when that motherfucker did that.
It throws you off.
Know how you get mad and tears just start coming out your eyes. I'm trying to do I fuck this nigga up? I said fuck it. He gave me that card. I went and took $3,000 out the account.
I know that's right.
And that's period.
Slap me all you want.
Nuh-uh. That was my rule though. Don't slap me and don't call me no bitch.
Yeah. I think
all that.
and I think in all sexual acts.
But I'm a nigga.
Yeah.
Like people forget. Like they think because I'm gay or mess with dudes or all this shit that I won't fuck with a woman or that I'm more feminine than I'm supposed to be. But like, no, bro.
You just knew he was
still
coming.
a nigga. Oh.
You must have knew he was coming. I thought it was a surprise.
We had Doug walk into the studio.
Just came through and look, there's Terrell. Oh, never mind.
It's Ladarius and Terrell. But I was gonna say, like, I think when it comes to when it comes to sexual acts,
getting in the loop, my bad.
like there could be too much of anything. So like you like a little bit of those things, so like a little bit of biting here and there, but like with kissing, with sucking, with biting, and like so imagine if someone was sucking your dick or whatever and they made a nibbled a little bit, but obviously don't use teeth all the time, or somebody eating your ass out might want to bite a little bit, but
listen,
if you keep biting me, like
I can nibble without teeth.
Yeah, some people do get over aggressive with like, okay,
with their teeth
biting,
especially when they drunk.
This
like, open your mouth.
Like, sucks him off so hard with his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
This girl sucked him off so hard, like with her teeth, that he like bled, like his penis bled.
I haven't had that happen before.
That's crazy.
I never had my penis bleed, but I have had some teeth scrapes. Like,
really?
Yeah.
And that I feel like those hurt more because they so sensitive afterwards. Like you pee, it burns. You know what I'm saying?
You put hot water on it.
It
burns.
It take forever to heal.
Cognizant of that.
You would, but like he said, sometimes they be intoxicated.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Or even sometimes when you kiss somebody and they keep biting your lip. Or but I don't get it.
Oh my God.
Keep sucking your lip.
What? No. When I say kissing is a dance, it is a dance. And you got to know how to dance.
Lips too hard.
I fucking hate when people feel like biting is a part of it. And especially at the wrong moments, especially too fucking hard.
Yes.
Like, it's supposed to be like
my lip is not supposed to hurt afterwards.
Yeah, definitely had somebody who did it right away, or like just kept sucking my lip.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ooh, the same. Like do the top one. Goddamn shit. Just keep doing the bottom one over and over.
It's the white people that don't know how to kiss for me.
They ain't got lips.
I was just gonna say that they don't have lips.
They don't know how.
How you
All these fucking pics.
But I'll be like, come on, give me a little tongue, poke it out, open your mouth or something.
I can't.
But they so
I only had, and
Jeez.
one of the dudes that paid me when I was living in that place was a white guy, and that's
I remember
the
you telling me
only
that
white guy I've ever fucked with.
It wasn't that bad.
It was hard to keep an erection. It was hard to keep an erection.
What did y'all do?
Shit, money.
He was one of those people who like to suck dick,
Okay.
so he paid me to do that. But I was not feeling it. Did he what?
Did he lowball you?
I wouldn't say lowball. I mean, he paid most of my rent, so my rent was $525 at the time. So I think he gave me like $4 or something. So
he said, "You gonna work for the rest."
So I'm only gonna give you part.
I gotta give you a little bit so you can come back.
oh, I never called him again. He was off the list. I stuck to black tricks after that. But
I don't find a lot of black tricks.
no,
And the ones that I do find, they be very, what's the word when you try to keep your money?
Stingy.
Yeah, real stingy.
Like,
And then they be wanting you to spend time.
no, I didn't have to do
That's
that.
all old.
Sound
black
like
tricks.
some
I feel
grandpa,
I ain't got
uncle,
time for that. Like,
Right.
I got a
Take
life,
my
I got a
money and
career. Just
There
because
was
I'm out here
plenty
hoeing
of
don't
Sam's
mean they got
But
a
no,
career.
when I
They
tell
just
you-
want time, they just want a hug. And I'm like, nah, nigga, give me the money.
Give me the money.
because I found it was 3 black guys and a white guy. I found all of them on Jacked, and they was all African. So like one lived in Mequon. One lived in Mequon. I'll never forget. He came and got me, and he took me to his house. He did not want me to leave. He wanted me to stay there. I'm like, I gotta go to work. I was lying and shit. I was scared. Like,
Right.
like what's
Mequon.
going on? But he bought. First of all, he bought everything to have a good time. I don't do any drugs, so he bought as much liquor as you could
He
think.
said he
of.
lived in Mequon.
Mhm.
That shit was probably already stocked. But go ahead.
No, he didn't have a bar, but he bought more liquor for me. I don't think he had what I drank at the time because back then I was drinking. It wasn't Jack. You know, I still drink Paul, and I still drink
I'm
Jack.
sure he didn't have it. He's probably like, I gotta buy this.
Back then, I don't remember.
I can't remember what I was drinking, but he had to buy me something, and he paid my cell phone bill because my phone was off at the time, and then gave me rent money. So, mind you, this is very short time of my life, like 2 months. So,
I mean, my thing is everybody, by the definition of sex work, everybody is a sex worker in some way, shape, or form. I know me personally, one of the things that all my old heads, I'm talking my mama, my aunties, my ex-boyfriend mama, everybody, like all of them say the same thing. Don't be afraid to ask a motherfucker for what you want because they're not gonna be afraid to ask you for that pussy.
Mhm.
So
I was
everybody
told-
is a sex worker in some way, shape, or form because
Mhm.
everything is tit for tat or transactional in some kind of way.
right.
I was told you gotta use what you got to get what you
want.
want.
Make the money, don't let it make you.
We got plenty of sayings. But the core of it all
Don't be
is
giving me none of them
don't
Ronnie
forget
Ho
who you are.
quotes.
Right.
So do y'all think that I guess the traditional forms of sex works or pretty much just the sexual act and money, whatever, should be legal?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and I think the internet had a big part in like changing all of that too. Cause like I can do so many different things. I ain't gonna even say the internet because we had phones.
Mhm.
You know, calling over the phone, doing the whole what was it, CB4.
Or
Chat
them little
line.
hotlines and shit back in
Interactive
the day.
mail.
nigga.
I remember interactive mail. I met a few people off there.
I met a few tricks off of there myself back in the
Because
day.
at the end of the day, everybody can't have the sex that they want to have, you know. And we have this porn that puts an image of what sex should be, but
And
to
it
me,
is not realistic.
it's not.
I like to
Them
watch
hoes don't
porn,
even
but
be
that shit do
talking.
not be realistic
they
at
don't
all.
even be talking. If
No.
you ain't busted a laugh in your sex, I don't even think you're having good sex.
Man.
Man, some of the best sex I've had, I done laughed, damn near cried. You know, if it give you that, you know, that's some good sex.
Mhm.
Shit, my OnlyFans was booming. Devontae, what was you doing on OnlyFans?
Did he answer my other question? What was my question?
That shit like that's fair.
What was your price? Was you doing sales, discounts?
I cannot. Not his OnlyFans was booming.
I
Child.
almost started one
I
my damn
almost started
self.
one too.
They got one for everything. You didn't have to show no private parts. They got one for feet, lips.
Well, for
We
OnlyFans, it's not supposed to just be for sex.
They do stuff for
That's why they
cooking.
want to ban it now. You can do anything. That's what's so dope about Bigo too, though. Like you can do whatever you do in your normal day. You can just set the camera right there and just be doing that shit. Oh, what up, y'all? This is what I'm doing. Doing the hair, doing the nails, and you get legit checks from that shit. Like
I'm gonna have to
legit.
download it.
I was like, I'm at the
35.99. Wait, that's not how much you made. That's how much you charge.
$35.99.
Okay.
That's his premium.
Okay.
$35.99. Y'all hear that?
Now, what was you doing on there? Is the question that people was paying at $35.99.
I hope you wasn't boxing naked in the thong like old boy from Growing Up Hip Hop.
Ooh, boxing naked in the thong.
Sam, Egypt.
I don't watch none of them shows. I don't watch none of them shows.
Consider yourself fortunate.
Yeah, because I already be
across
too many.
Definitely, I feel like the people who
Shabari.
the people who are watching that seem like they have money.
Not whipping women.
I think that's a person.
Yeah, I feel like people who watch those things have money.
Yeah,
They
whip
have
me,
money.
Shabari. Whip me.
I'm not really into.
I'm not into pain.
I'm not into paying either. With so much free sex to watch out here. You
Like
serious?
I can't even give pain because like I had this one trick. I mean like clamps on the nipples, and I mean like them heavy duty.
Oh yeah. It would have been sad.
My mom knew a guy like that. Like he wanted her, he had her take like a wrench or something to his, because like they tried like clothespins and that didn't work. He like kept saying harder and harder. So she tried like a wrench and she was like twisted it and shit. And after a while, she was like, "Look, motherfucker, I'm about to break a nail in this bitch. I'm not gonna keep doing
Let me
this."
get a knife. I'm not into extreme pain. Like I can do a little bit of pain. It's pleasure. But one thing about me, and this is why I never caught that white man back. I don't care how much money is involved. If I'm not attracted to it or into it, I can't pretend. So like if I cannot, I won't get an erection. I might have to take some type of pill. I can't do it. I cannot do it because I'm not attracted to it in any capacity. Even if your face ugly, you have a nice body.
I ain't gotta be attracted to you. That money look good though.
I wish I thought like that.
Not programmed like
I
that.
wish I thought like that.
Honestly, since
$850. Oh, okay.
Since the tender age of me coming around about 5 or 6, I can remember his mind and telling all of us, really, we all wasn't allowed to bring no white spouse home.
Yeah, I got told that too. Mama
So
said you better not bring no white girl home.
I feel like that shit programmed me. I'm not like if you a white motherfucker.
I feel like
I'm
that
attracted to you gotta have some
lot.
type of like swag, like a black person, or be like tatted up, or something about you I could relate to. The dude that was sucking me up looked like Harry Potter. Like
He saw the scar. He was like,
and why that's all I could think about. Like, giving me head. So I'm just like, yeah.
what if he just pulled out a wand?
Right.
I had to literally watch porn.
He didn't have
to
the glasses
ejaculate.
on, did he? Woo, Jesus.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
I'm dead.
I know. I'm real different though with my sex work. Like it's definitely a spectrum. Like it depends on who the person is. Like how I'm gonna charge you. Like I don't know. I just take in a lot of stuff in account. If I can learn something from you, that might play in part. Like sex work is just like you said. It's a big old spectrum.
Damn, you gotta be a businessman.
You definitely do.
One of the oldest professions in the world.
It is,
Yeah, sure.
if not the oldest.
But they
you
it's
made
illegal.
Devontae, get off of here trolling. Get off of here trolling.
Hey, Rocky.
Hey, Rocky.
But I believe it. I mean, people are buying houses from their OnlyFans and all that. But
I was
takes
dumb.
work.
I was dumb.
What you spending on?
I ain't buy no house. I ain't buy no car. I bought a lot of marijuana.
You know who was smart?
Probably spent it
who
on other
parlayed they
hoes.
sex work into the most amazing shit ever.
Cardi
that
B.
We should have been
Kim
mentioned.
Kardashian.
No.
Ray J.
No.
Who?
Brandy.
Y'all, I can't believe y'all can't think of this person that I'm thinking of.
We
Wait,
said
give me-
Kim.
No.
Somebody we know personally.
No.
Wait, say it again.
T.S. Madison.
Oh yeah.
The big
Who got
dick
it out?
bitch.
Yes. Who got it out the motherfucking mud. My bitch
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
from sex work and porn
Yeah.
to the chateau to her own
reality show.
YouTube shit to her own reality show. If that ain't the biggest flex ever in motherfucking life,
Yeah.
and I
Hi,
shout
Kaya,
her
how
out
you doing in your
every
truck?
show. I shout her out almost every show, but
I love the doll. Nene,
I-
Mimi.
Nene or Mimi?
Oh, Mimi.
Ah!
Mimi Dinkins.
Oh, because I'm like, did her shit get leaked?
Talking about Mimi from Love and Hip Hop.
Right. I'm like, did her shit get
that
leaked?
porn was garbage.
It was trash.
His dick wasn't even hard while she was holding on to that shower rod. Let's talk
He knew
about
it was a
it.
joke.
That shit was noodle as fuck.
He
It was
was
just
selling-
like this damn microphone. That's how his dick was while she was hanging from the shower rod. Just like this here. Like, get the fuck out of I was all in the camera. I was
Now she put it on you this time. This time she put it on you.
because that's how his dick looked. I just had to give him a visual for the people that's actually watching. Baby, I saw it. I was like, this nigga dick ain't even in her.
Who was she
Everybody
having
was
sex
amazed
with?
by that part, but it
Nico.
wasn't even in her. Her
Her shower
Her
rod,
sex
I
tape
remember the.
shower
I, just,
with Nico.
I seen it. I probably just didn't know who they were. I just knew they were from Love and Hip Hop.
Child. It
So
was a
today when
waste
I
of
was jacking
time.
off at work, I was watching this one.
All right. Where's you in the parking lot?
Say it casual.
Where's you in the
though.
parking lot?
He tried to say.
Did it have a lock on the bathroom?
Oh, now,
I would hope that all public restrooms have locks on
now
them.
I gotta
mean,
start
It's
charging.
a single person bathroom.
Okay,
so
it was one of
I
those.
can lock. But when I was jacking off at work, I was scrolling because there's a couple like Twitter pages that I go to that like
A
jack off,
couple.
whatever.
Really?
And because Twitter is full of porn.
Yeah.
It's your life.
I'm never on
It
Twitter.
ain't
Oh,
long
it is
enough
now.
for me. I
It's
can't
not
get
like
into that
that's
damn
what be
2
pissing me off.
minutes.
Just when you about
You
to
gotta
nut,
keep rewinding.
it be like,
Fuck, man, that was the good part.
Keep
And then
rewinding
they
it.
in right when the nut come out. Like,
but no, Ray J and
Maybe
Kim
watch
came
all
up on
this.
my
That's hilarious.
it was on a gay page though. I'm like, what the hell? So when I saw Kim, I'm like, I never seen the whole thing, so I just started watching this.
How did you feel
She
about it?
got
Because I
some
thought it
pretty
was
tit-
weak as fuck
well,
when I
she had
saw
some
it.
real pretty titties in that.
Well,
in
the
that.
thing that I seen was her titties weren't showing, so it was
Oh.
when she was laying on
You
her
ain't watched
stomach,
the whole-
Oh,
That's the
and
one
he was
that
looking
I
at the
saw.
camera, like
Yes.
fucking her. Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, baby."
Yeah, he just got. I
Didn't
don't
you
know.
think
Was
that
it
was
just me?
weak? I
The
thought it
stroke
was
game
weak
was
as
It's
fuck.
very
big.
weak.
Yeah, because
That
the
was
only other
another
scene I
celebrity
seen
porn
from
tape.
it was when she was sucking his dick, and I'm like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're playing."
A lot
with
of the
it."
celebrity sex tapes.
The
are
only
weak,
bitch
though.
that has
Yeah.
ever
But
impressed
his
me
dick big,
giving
that's
head
why.
is Superhead. I'm sorry. She is literally the only one who has ever impressed me as far as that in the porn. Like,
Yeah.
What about Pinky?
Pinky
she's
did
never
her thing.
impressed me.
Yeah.
Really?
She's
Yeah.
she's never impressed
He said
me.
the yuck yuck
Because
6,000.
most bitches I watch,
That's
I'm
the
like, I
next
can do
level.
that.
I said the gawk gawk 3,000.
Yeah. But even to what you were saying earlier with like the Twitter pages and them being short clips, that is partially why like the OnlyFans stuff gets so successful
Mhm.
because they're baiting you.
They're not getting me.
They're basically creating this fantasy like you want to see it, you like this, you end up because I've definitely subscribed to
I
some
subscribe.
pages
Really?
Mhm.
because I've been so curious about like what this person was given
Mhm.
or this clip.
if it's a real,
It's only
if it's
been
a
one
real
motherfucker
scene.
that I
Yeah.
was curious about, but I never paid for nobody's OnlyFans.
Really?
I was curious
neither.
about Bobby from Love and Hip Hop.
Really?
Yeah, because you won't be seeing his Instagram.
I don't like Bobby no more. He was cute when he was cute, but now he just like.
When was
do
he
too
cute?
much.
All I ever be
You know,
seeing
light
is
skinned
ass
boys
cheeks.
is
What he be
tall,
doing?
skinny, light skinned boys is my.
Oh,
It's my jizz. So.
That used
well,
to
that's
be.
my total opposite type. So
Well, then again, people say he light skinned, so maybe I don't know. His cousins swear he
No,
light skinned.
yeah, no, he light skinned.
I feel like me and him
He
the
still
same
light
color,
skinned.
but
You kind of two tone though,
Who,
yeah.
me? Yeah, we are like the same color. And I say I'm caramel, but other people
But
call
you
me
more
dark.
two tone because your arms is a little darker. Yeah. He's still a light.
His cousins swear he light skinned stuff.
I think if you're not dark skinned, some people just because some people called you light skinned before.
I've been called light and dark skinned. I feel like I'm directly in the
It
middle.
depends on the light.
Maybe.
You know, we look so
It
different.
depends on how much sun I've been in too,
That
because
too.
I get tanned and Mickey sometimes.
It's crazy how because I'm I guess in between Corey and everybody else.
I mean, you
Yeah.
just came back from
Oh,
Vegas
who's
though
everybody
too,
else?
bruh.
Who's Thompson over there?
We ain't black, we brown.
Everyone on this.
But
My arms look pretty dark on camera.
I would consider you dark skinned though, friend. I would.
Dang, I forgot.
Really?
I should have brought my rules
Period.
in today, though. The sex
thought it was
worker
pretty
rules.
brown.
There are sex worker
But-
rules.
What can you wait? Hold on. He said he has sex worker rules.
There
Can you
are
remember
rules,
some of them?
like-
What's
Yes.
the rules?
It's like 4 main rules. Like you're supposed to go in, know how much you're getting paid,
Mhm,
stick with your price,
mhm,
and never be afraid to walk away.
mhm.
And there's something else that's real important, but I can't remember. So it must
See,
not be that important.
That's why I would have loved for my cousin to have been a part of the show, because not only has she, been a sex worker for over a decade, I believe.
Mhm.
Like, she is an advocate. She really tries to help sex workers that aren't in the best situations. She be trying to look out for people. She be trying to tell them safe spots for them to go and stuff. And it would have been really nice to hear what rules she has,
Mhm.
because I'm sure it's a long list of them. Her father was one of the most notorious pimps in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
and especially in Milwaukee. So it would be really intriguing to have her views.
Well,
and stuff.
today didn't work out, but maybe we could bring it full circle at some point.
Because I ain't never had no pimp.
Yeah.
I
don't
couldn't deal
think
She
you need a
hasn't
pimp.
either, and I don't think it's necessarily.
Well, probably
needed,
because her
but I will
experience with her
say-
father, her seeing that, why is these women giving him money when they can make it for themselves?
And then
I don't know if
from
that's
the
what
being
it
from the
is.
South, I've seen a lot of women be the pimp.
Hello,
Listen.
Mama D.
And a lot of times the pimp be the one who learned it from their mama. So shit.
Scrappy and Mama D.
I just
I'm
said hello,
telling
Mama
you.
D.
I'm telling you,
She
Get your money
always talk
first.
about how a bitch could have
See,
worked for
that's
her.
tricky. That's tricky because I've heard stories about giving your money first and not receiving your services. So, as the person who's paying for it,
You can give me half.
I just want to
Okay.
see
Okay.
it.
what's the down payment?
I
You
want
can be
to.
in the middle.
I just want to make sure the money is
protect
there.
yourself.
But
need
you know, if
it.
you got a
Yes,
regular,
always.
What if
you
it's
more
Cash
than
App?
likely got your own.
What if it's Cash App is the way the transaction? So how you gonna see the money?
Mm.
You check it. You check it.
I don't
Let me
know.
see your account. Make sure it's there.
Something.
But that's
I
why
wouldn't
you
allow
say
Cash App
that's
to
why
give
you
more of a
say
payment
set
then.
your
Fuck
price
that.
before you even go.
But
And
because
don't
if you
be
do
scared
that,
to
they
walk
could give
away.
you half,
Mhm.
and then they be like, "That's it."
Cash only.
Right.
Mhm.
Or what if you did so I guess if you did half and then you did the act and they're like, I'm not giving you the rest of this.
Nope, you get paid up front.
What if they didn't enjoy your service? What if they
It's
didn't enjoy
all
your
that.
service? Do you have to? Do they still
Right,
have to
it's
pay?
what-
But
like a
no
haircut.
bullshit.
What's
It
that, what
depends.
that
It
is?
They
depends.
enjoy your
on-
service. You don't tip a waiter if their
But-
service wasn't good.
But it
I don't give a
depends.
fuck. God damn it. I ain't no
It
waiter.
depends-
Shit.
It depends on the situation.
No, fuck that. All exactly. All
No,
sales are
no
fine.
refunds.
That's another
I'm just
rule.
playing devil's
It
advocate.
depends on the situation.
About to start selling.
It definitely
I
depends on
feel
the
like a sex
situation.
worker for real right now. Yo, fuck.
Right. What was advertised? Was you just giving out free head or
Guess what?
You
I don't
know,
give a fuck about
but
the
the
customer
person-
service.
The person buying
Once I
is
get
the
my
consumer,
cash.
so you're the advertiser.
I ain't
So-
advertising shit.
So
You saw something
if you're
that you
if you're
liked.
paying for
Exactly.
something,
Made
if
a-
you're
a
paying for something, you're the
presentation.
consumer. So you it's not your job to advertise. It's the person who's selling you something's job to advertise. So
And I guess that's where I'm different.
Yeah, because I'm not
I'm
I
advertising.
ain't
different.
advertising
Look,
shit.
I'm different.
I'm telling you, I'm only selling if you buying.
Exactly. Period.
and tell me what you buying for,
I'm telling you.
so I can tell you whether or not I'm
Period.
selling.
I'm telling you. Because everybody don't got the same price. Everybody ain't the same customer. And I can't stand regulars because regulars think you can just bring the price down.
Right, get a discount. I'm a
No.
loyal customer. Or
Nah.
2 for 1.
Not no 2 for 1.
Not
get this
the
free.
head
Let me
and the
get-
ass
let me-
special.
This
And
time
you-
it's gonna be free, but next time I got you.
What about I'll pay you later?
No, never.
Then we can do this later.
I'll see you later.
Hell no.
Mm. But shit, sometimes I'll be in the bind, Nate.
Wait, so do y'all? What if
Shit,
you?
be
What
in
if?
the
What if
car
it's
like-
somebody that you
Princess
find absolutely fucking attractive? So do attractive people get attractive discounts?
Hell no.
Now I'd have paid an attractive man, or offered an attractive man $100 because I wanted his hands on my back and body and booty and glutes of Miss Maximus.
So you wanted a massage?
I mean, I wanted to start there.
Oh,
And then I was gonna probably take the price up from there. And then I offered this one bottom some money, and he tried to top me, and it was just like, what the fuck? So,
In the moment, or
like, no, I didn't even get that far.
so he changed it to
He
like,
was
actually, I
like,
want
I thought he was a bottom, and I was trying to pay for the booty. But apparently, because he got a big dick, he thought that that's what I wanted, and it was like, no, I just
yeah,
like
people
big
can't
dick.
That's
assume
why you
that.
have to have those
People can't- yeah.
conversations.
And I know you like, you bought your money, so I was like, just showing respect. But then you switched the reins on me, like,
So did you do?
no, I ain't do it. I ain't want no dick from him.
I came to dance for y'all. That's it. Oh shit. Y'all
I'd be scared to offer girls money though. Like, because even when I be
Why?
trying
They'll
to
take
be,
it.
I'll be scared to just talk to girls because girls do be on weird shit. Like I tried to be nice to a girl one time. It was raining, storming. Y'all know how we have our random rain storms and be coming down hard as man. This girl was walking down Miller Parkway. Ain't nothing over there. I was just like, girl, it's raining. You want to ride? She's like, nah. I'm like, you sure it's
I
raining?
can
and lightning
understand
stuff?
how
She's
she
like,
wouldn't
nah.
want to get.
I can understand.
I wouldn't got no argument. I gotta be honest. You so sweet, but I would have got to go. Listen,
Like,
Milwaukee.
As a man, I wouldn't.
Milwaukee is a high.
I
agree with you.
Raining like a motherfucker.
On some serious
Oh,
shit.
is it?
Milwaukee is a high
Sex
human
traffic,
and
yeah.
sex trafficking state.
Oh.
That's not safe, bro.
didn't
That's
know. I was
sweet. That was
trying to
sweet,
be
but I
nice.
was
It's good that you came from a genuine place, but
Right.
she ain't know that.
right.
Oh, there must be.
This
You from
is a,
Mississippi?
Yeah, from Mississippi.
we're in like the top 5 of
That's
human
why I didn't
trafficking
hit as
and
hard with
sex
the butt.
trafficking here. So,
But
Yeah,
you know
no.
what? I didn't want to say, but he was reminding me of Terrell a little bit. And took me up. My dude is from Mississippi. Like he only been up here a year and some change. So I can kind of tell
part
somebody.
of
The Delta, Greenville.
Mm.
The pint.
Wait, I
The
thought you was from
paint.
Tennessee. Did you spend some time in Tennessee too?
Hey. Down in the valley where the girls get naked.
I definitely heard. I was like the virus.
That's what I thought immediately.
But it clicked.
See,
Like,
I was
it clicked.
thinking of fucking sorority with my crazy ass.
Everyone thought something
Everybody
different.
thought something different.
Anybody think the airlines?
Too many
But no,
demons.
it's high sex trafficking up here. So, because I had a dude offer me a ride
I remember
one
that.
time on the bus stop, and he kept asking, "Are you sure?" Kind of like that, and I was like, "Something is up." Like,
Yeah.
It's raining. That's what's up.
no, it was cold the day that I was out there.
Oh,
so
shit,
it was
that too.
cold, but a nigga, he looked like
I had a few.
he would have kidnapped my
mofos.
ass.
Yeah, I had a man offer me. I was with my boyfriend at the time, and we was just got caught in the rain on like Villard, and he was like, "Y'all want to ride?" I was like, "Hell yeah, come on! It's both of us." So shit. I'm good.
The only time I took a ride was when I had my first place when Auntie Bessie died. I was trying to get to my mom's house for the funeral, and it was snowing that night, and it was really cold, and the buses were behind. Like it was super behind. I was about to get frostbite.
Shit,
Oh,
them
And
this
nights
white
I
man-
wished.
Pulled over and was like, "Do you need a ride to your next bus stop?" I said, "Yeah."
It was cold as a motherfucker.
I said,
Praying in the
yeah.
back. Like, I hope this
Yeah,
is
and I prayed. I hope
not the
it's- I'm
day.
ready, like, making sure because I had no weapon on me, so I had my keys in my pocket. Like I was stab this motherfucker.
Hand on the door handle.
Every
I
I swear.
As soon as he like,
Standing on that bus stop of Tatonia and Umbrella. Nigga, I used to.
Oh, you was in the hood too?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Coming from
Yes,
Riverside, going
yes.
all the
I'll
way
take
to
the
Hampton.
ride because I happen to be what is that street called? Like you know where State Street is, where it's Wauwatosa though, and it's like a cousin sub and a pick and save and stuff all that over there.
What?
Yes.
Where?
I think it's
60th
Milwaukee Street or
and State Street?
76. Nah, it's like
It's right like 70.
Yeah,
It's like when you take 76 and wrap all the way around.
that's where I was at. So I wasn't in the hood, so I was not in any danger as far as like. Yeah, I was.
But it was just
It was the fact that I
unknown ass
spent an
person.
hour and
Shit.
15 minutes on the bus,
That's
and
where
I
that crazy
don't want
is,
hypothermia.
that
I feel you.
So he offered a ride, and he let me warm up in his car, and then put me on the next bus. And the next bus actually came on time to get me to my mama's house. But yeah, I was nervous.
I was praying for somebody to pick me up
I don't think I've ever been.
in them cold ass.
Okay,
nights.
the one time, shout out to my older sister. The only time that I've ever been in a situation like that, I want to say I was like 10. And it was my sister's birthday. It was January 1st, New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day. No, it was, yeah. Well, technically it was New Year's Day, but it was like in the wee hours of the morning, like right after midnight. But anyway, and we had left. For whatever reason, we decided to walk to Mayfair Mall from 87th and Hampton in the cold.
Them days.
as
Walking.
What the fuck was
We
wrong? with
walked.
you?
Young.
Was
we
Mayfair
didn't-
even open on the holiday?
Back then, it was open, but it was just the movies. So we went to the movies. I can't remember what we saw, but we ended up getting a ride from these guys. I don't know which one of them supposedly knew them. All I know is I didn't know a goddamn person, and I had no business being in this car with these men and my sister and cousin and her friends and all of that. But I was always alone for
Being
like.
Wasn't she with us in Chicago when we
I wasn't being fast yet.
Wasn't she with us in Chicago when we had to jump in that people car?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
You know what? That was Kirby and Alex. You weren't there this year. This is when I was dating Myron.
This year?
That year.
Oh, look, you said this.
No, I didn't know. You weren't there this particular
Like,
year.
excuse me.
No,
Somebody said when your mouth get dry.
Well,
That's
that
good
and you
sex.
you haven't dated Myron in like a decade, so
Yeah.
So I was a little
Myron was
confused.
a while ago, but we were strictly in Chicago on the south side at this club called Adriana's. And
I definitely went there.
child, we were trying to meet the bad girls at the time. So this was like season 3 of Bad Girls Club. Let you know how long ago it was.
Dude, you used to drag us everywhere trying to meet them.
Really?
I did.
Yeah, like
They wasn't that famous shit.
Back they was.
They used
us
to do
back
a
then.
lot of like club hostings
Yeah.
and stuff
Dude, y'all
like that.
y'all know Colin, right? Colin.
Yeah.
This for the long, I'll say about 2-3 years. This man had me believing that what's her name? I Run LA.
Natalie Nunn.
Natalie Nunn.
Had me thinking that bitch was his motherfucking mama for at least 3 years. Yes, that's my mama. Natalie, that's my mama. You see her on TV, and it just didn't never click to me like, why your mama ain't taking care of you? Why your mama ain't in your life?
Leave you here.
Why she ain't sending you no money?
Even the
Busy
age
running LA.
difference
The age
don't,
didn't
like-
even make sense to me.
But as somebody who's not a fan, Natalie don't look that young. So
She like
I could
40
see, and you
now,
got to see
right?
how Colin looks too, because Colin younger than us.
Mhm.
So Colin, like I think,
And at
like
the time,
24
he
right
was-
now. So then at
Yeah,
the time,
and he
that
was
had
only
to
like
be
18.
I would say
Mhm.
Natalie don't necessarily look the youngest, but she don't look like she got no grown ass kid. Either. Y'all listen, y'all not gonna do her like
I don't know. Her
No,
attitude
I
gave
can
me.
I can say that's not always true because like people still become teen parents.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
like,
they do, but she just don't look like she got no grown ass son.
You don't. Yeah, the
We
people I
were
know
talking
were
about her
grown kids don't
looks.
look like it.
We ain't talking about nothing else. We said her looks.
Who's that
But
point
I'm
shit?
saying that. But my focus was more so on the possibility that it could have been his mom.
Well, that's
Mhm.
anybody.
Yeah,
It's
so-
possible.
They was both light skinned, skinny.
He didn't have that
The
chin.
features, huh?
Colin don't got that chin. That moon
Oh,
pie
no,
ass
he
face.
got that chin. Nah,
So,
I
yeah.
would have never let it go.
Trash, Natalie. I'm sorry. She likes her.
Embrace
I
your
like
chin,
Natalie.
Natalie, baby.
I like Natalie. She was a
Entertaining.
good show. Yeah.
I like
Mhm.
A fake
like
ass
it.
New York.
I like you. You
New York.
can come back anytime.
New York.
They all,
Me and
they all-
Jamal
they
typically
They all
agree.
fake ass New York.
But she was one of the ones who did it well. There's people who did it well after New York. I think Natalie, Nene,
Yeah, there's a few
Jocelyn,
people.
you know,
Tanisha.
Cardi.
Cardi.
Cardi. Now listen,
was
you
she
know
even on
Cardi
there
took
long
Love and
enough,
Hip Hop and parlayed it into that rap.
but
career.
she
Cardi
on there
is not
long
a
enough?
reality TV queen to me. That's
No,
what I'm
she
talking
not
about.
Really?
No, she's
Nah,
not.
she wasn't on there long enough.
I think
It was
she
like-
grew out of
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah, she was like
Yeah.
it was like
Okay.
2 years that she
She's
was on
the
there.
queen of like taking it and using it to
I
her
will
advantage.
say
right.
this though.
But it popped for her. A lot of them
Yeah,
hoes
it
got
don't
on there.
pop.
and
She
did
does.
that.
Hurricane
And it
Michelle
didn't
the
pop.
only two.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. She does have a queen moment though.
What?
That moment where she said, "If a bitch gonna have beef with me, she gonna have beef
Forever.
forever.
Oh,
That's a quotable line, not a queen moment.
I think that was a queen
That
moment.
was a quotable line
Yeah.
because
No,
in order to be a queen,
What
like you
was
have
the
to have
reason?
several. I could think of several New York lines off the top of my head, like without even
I
thinking.
guess.
But that's because I think people like me are literally the queen of reality TV. Where when you step outside of that, ain't much. But that's enough for her.
And she's still working in reality
That's just dope.
TV.
Versus like
Cool.
Cardi and K Michelle could have, if they didn't have successful careers after, they would have just been known for that. It would have been okay, but they took it beyond, and that's okay.
I was
too.
actually surprised. I thought K Michelle was gonna be the only one to ever, skate off and have an actual career. But when Cardi did what she did, I was shocked.
I think she didn't because of the fact that her going back to reality the way she did.
Who K?
Yeah,
All right, now look.
with her bitch ass.
And then the thing, I'm gonna tell you the only reason I actually, well, not the bitch ass part, but the only reason I agree with what he said is just because the album that she did after she left again, I didn't really fuck with it like that. Like the More Issues Than Vogue or whatever.
That was the last one.
Every single fucking song on there I loved. But on the next couple albums after she left again, I only liked a couple songs.
Well, I
off
will
of
say to me,
So I can kinda
musically,
agree with that.
she hasn't switched up. I could see
She hasn't
that.
switched up. I just didn't
If
like
you
what
like
she
not
did.
a fan like that. Well, because you were. So I mean, I see his perspective more so than yours because we was like, K Michelle.
I'm still such a writer for her though, but I just did not fuck with them albums.
The last
Or
two.
one or the
I
last
think
two.
she just talked too much shit for me.
Oh no, I like shit talking. Hold on. stop
I
that.
like shit talking. To
I was
a
just
point.
quoting that bitch earlier. Bitch, the bitch is shaking the table.
I'm more of a the girl. Damn, why am I at a blank right now? Rashida type of shit talker.
Oh, well, enjoy. My name
wow.
is Rashida. I rap like Shawty Love.
Not
Yeah.
You know what?
I had to create some space.
You know, I grew up on Rashida,
No,
so I'm
you
like,
know what?
I
I
love
would
Rashida.
agree with you on that, but Rashida did not stay consistent. She
Rashida's songs are
Hold on.
trash. Let's be honest.
we're not talking about her songs.
Oh.
I'm talking about her on the show and her attitude as far as being the boss chick.
Mhm.
At first, when her and K Michelle first started beefing and stuff like that, she took the high road. She was taking the boss role.
Yeah,
And then she tried to start acting like she was hard, like she would fight a bitch.
Yeah.
And that's where she lost a lot
I
of
can
people.
see that
Because
switch
let's
up.
be clear. You ain't gonna bust no great baby, and we know it. Stop playing
Girl,
with
when
us,
K Michelle
bitch.
threw that candle at her,
Stop playing
I was
with
like, if
us.
she really wanted to get her, she
fucking with
could.
the wrong bitch that
She was right here, and she waited.
Mimi the type of bitch, she gonna sit there and eat her burrito while y'all were there fighting. and
Mimi
shit.
scare me because
She be too damn calm.
she do. I think that
Them
bitch a
calm
killer
ones,
bitch.
yes, them calm ones, you gotta watch them.
Mhm.
But Rashida, baby, stay consistent. If you're gonna be the boss, stay the boss. Like when she checked Kirk, baby mama Jasmine or
Mhm.
whatever, that was back on boss shit, but she had fell off.
And I
before
think
then.
she lost a lot of respect for taking him back. too.
Absolutely. She lost a
Mhm.
lot of respect from a lot of people many
Do y'all
times.
think that should be a thing?
What?
That somebody should lose your respect for who they decide to accept in their space.
No.
I mean, it necessary. It shouldn't.
It's not your situation.
Because it's not your situation. But when you take on these type of roles, unfortunately, you
In
become
society.
role models
Yeah.
to some people.
Yeah.
And Rashida was very looked up, probably the most
Yeah.
looked up to out of all the women on that cast.
Do you think we strip away their right to be human though when we do that?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
When you
So then-
become famous,
I
your
agree,
rights
but
to be human
unfortunately,
get
this is
stripped
how
away.
it is, though.
So
like,
as older people, because everybody here is over 25, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I think you're the oldest
I'm a
one
cougar.
between
Yeah,
us.
I was gonna say it depends on who asking. Because if they paying, then I'm only 22. 'Cause, you know, some of them don't pay for over 18. So
Oh Lord!
I'm
Lord.
keeping it real.
But I think
we know
that
them out there.
older
Wet.
people, the fact that we know this, I could take it from the 21, 18, 19-year-olds who don't have no life experiences, but we all have lived and made mistakes and have been judged for them. And so I think that we could be a little bit more compassionate sometimes.
My thing is,
Except for with the baby.
we didn't talk. See, my thing is that's a deal breaker for me. You bring a child in our shit out of wedlock, like then that's a deal breaker for me. But I will say this though, in defense of them, because I was gonna say this anyway. I watched them on the love and marriage retreat or some shit. It seems like they are in a really good place now. Like they really overcame that bullshit of the past. So for Rashida's sake and for Kirk's sake, really, because he was the scum of the earth around the whole world.
Mhm.
Like, I hope that it's for real.
He really was.
Well, he was the scum of the
He
earth,
was.
but then Safari
Yeah.
came along.
But
That's a whole.
in his
Because a lot of
defense-
niggas looked at him like, oh, you had a bitch get pregnant and you still with your main bitch? Oh, and she still rocking with you? Oh, okay. So yeah.
I mean, he did tell her he didn't want a baby. Though.
Yeah, it's a lot to handle, and then to get past those things, like where it seems like Rashida and Kurt are, you gotta really go through
Put in
some
work.
stuff.
This man cheated on her on national TV.
More than once.
Because it's
He had a
emotional.
threesome on TV, right? And
Yeah.
then got a bitch
What a
pregnant.
setup for it.
Uh-huh.
Set up
Got
for
a
the
bitch
threesome.
pregnant, knew she was pregnant, and moved her into their building.
And you have to
Uh-huh.
remember when she got pregnant, his guilt had him accusing her of cheating on him, and he
Uh-huh.
questioned the paternity of his own child.
Not even just that, he got
Mm.
actually he did a paternity test on the show.
Manipulation at its finest.
Yeah, so and then all that shit with her mama and shit, like
I mean, Kurt came
he done did
over,
some low down shit.
That's all what matters, mama, when she ran over that motorcycle.
I wasn't either, honestly.
I wish everybody everywhere would run over a motorcycle.
Yeah,
But, like
that's why
I
you
said, for
can't
they
put
sake,
past-
I really hope that
Can't put nothing past
things
anybody.
are different now because he was showing his ass.
Boy,
And
at
it's
this
hard to
point-
consider her a boss after all that.
At this point, if he leave her, she gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they done invested in
You gotta
the
wait till
more
she ready to
businesses
go,
since
bro.
then, like-
You gotta wait till she done with it, bro.
And that's
Man.
what,
You
try to
at this
leave
point, that's
her,
what I
it's
feel like
over.
she see it as it's just a business transaction. I can get more with him than without him.
Shit, quiet as it's kept. I think Beyonce in the same boat.
What you say about
but-
Beyonce?
Ooh.
All the lights shut off.
Lord, the internet shut down and the beehive is coming to get
I'm
us.
telling you.
Lord Jesus, he trying to get us
I
killed.
can't move.
I don't give no fuck. The Beehive has attacked me before, and if I was famous, I'd say the exact same thing. Everybody is not a super fan of Beyonce. Beyonce is not trash to me. I be talking when I say that, but Beyonce is not the greatest thing since sliced bread to me either. And I'm not gonna pretend that
Yeah,
everything
I'm
she
not a
does
part
is
of the
great because y'all
Beehive.
do. I'm not.
I'm a fan, but I'm not a part of the beehive.
Shit, I don't even give.
Same.
Nikki has done some stuff. I'm like that ain't it, sis.
Mm.
So you know what I'm saying? Why would I do that for Beyonce? And I stand.
I
for
ain't
Nicki?
no
But I
fan,
guess-
but
yeah.
I'm proud of their
Yeah.
work ethic.
And
Like,
even with
Definitely.
Nikki,
True.
her not necessarily doing anything, but you also know and understand why people love her so
Yeah.
much too.
Yeah, I
At
get
the
why
same
other
time.
people
some
love
of
her.
our
It just wasn't for
favorite
me.
artists come from them.
Yeah,
Especially when you got hoes like Doja.
that's the whole Nikki clone.
Pretty
Okay.
Rucci
But can't
remind
nobody-
me of Nikki too.
Can't
Well, her
nobody do it like
influence is
Doja
felt-
though. Her
Yeah.
versatility
Doja,
ain't like
Doja
Doja's.
is versatile as Nikki
Versatile
is,
as fuck.
and I feel like when Nikki said these bitches is my sons, she really birthed her son in Doja.
Mhm.
Doja is
'Cause
Nicki's son.
Doja's
Hilarious.
album back from when we were in high school,
Yeah.
nothing like the music she make today. Nothing.
Mhm.
Everything was so high. Like nothing
Yeah.
like it.
But the Queen's influence, you cannot deny.
Absolutely.
It's like you
And
can't deny
it's the same
Beyonce's,
to
whether you like her or
Beyonce.
not,
Mhm.
and you can't deny Rihanna's
Yeah.
either. Because I feel like
But
Rihanna
ain't
helped
nobody
usher in-
biting on Rihanna shit.
No,
like
these
that.
new R&B girls,
They
this
ain't biting
melodic.
on Rihanna.
That's
This
because we
melodic-
don't have nothing.
Listen to Rihanna Anti. It came out in 2016, and then listen to a new R&B song from her or Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah.
It tells me that
Nothing.
Rihanna don't have influence. Yes, she do, because R&B didn't sound like that. It didn't sound futuristic. It didn't sound that melodic. It sounded like it sounded like K
The
Michelle
psychedelic
music.
sound.
Yeah, like I feel like Rihanna
Yes, it
contributed to
did.
that. No, it did not back in
Outkast contributed
2016.
to that shit.
But Rihanna made it mainstream. You have to give her her
I
credit.
can say Rihanna made it mainstream, and then but there also were women around
because
who
then
didn't get it.
Bryson Tiller was doing his stuff.
There was people like Solange who was out. There's people like who were
Solange
doing
was
alternative,
more neo soul.
alternative
And
R&B.
Kanye
Yeah.
really pushed that
Absolutely.
spectrum of
He
alternative.
did too, but you
and
can't
rock.
take
Alternative-
Rihanna's credit either.
But I'm just saying,
I just
like,
want some current music for Rihanna. I don't give a fuck about none of these motherfuckers that's talking about. Bitch, can we get some current music, please?
I'm making $1
It
billion.
just got announced today that
one year.
Rihanna is a billionaire now.
Right,
Because of
she's
50
a billionaire.
skinny makeup,
So
though.
she-
I want some music.
I
Fuck that.
doubt we
I don't
get
care.
music
I
because
don't
she's
care.
a billionaire
No.
because
She
of
probably
her
gonna
business.
release
She's
I
still
don't
under
care.
contract.
I want music.
She's still under contract.
Girl, hurry
Just
up,
like
girl.
Nikki, we got more
Please.
albums to come.
Well, Nikki got one
One
more.
more. I
under-
think
All
Rihanna
I,
one more.
all
And then
I
she out
need
of her
is just
contract.
one more. I just started liking you when you took your break. God damn. Shit.
Honestly, it wasn't until the album before Anti that I really got
Unapologetic?
into her. Yes,
Me
that's
and
the
her
one
kept
with the
going back and
with the
forth.
I don't want to see him die anymore.
Unfaithful.
That was a while ago.
No, is that not that album?
That was the Unfaithful album.
That album came out in
way-
06.
So that was
way-
Good Girl Gone Bad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was with
No, that
her.
was a girl like me or music of the
Ooh,
sun
A
was
Girl
first,
Like Me
right?
was my
With Unfaithful
album.
on there?
Music,
Unfaithful was music of the sun.
was it Music of the
Was.
Sun?
Then you liked her since
No,
the
no, no,
second
no, no.
album.
Music.
Music of the sun was
Music.
first. A girl like me, Unfaithful was on. So that's
Yes.
her second
Yeah.
album. That's before
Oh,
Good
yes.
Girl Gone
You've been
Bad.
Because
like
I
her,
only-
actually.
I only liked them first two albums, and then the next two, I only liked a couple singles.
Well, I would say in that album I liked a couple singles, but after that, and I think it's because I got older too, I started listening to whole albums.
Yeah. I can
But once
agree.
she started reeling me in with Rude Boy, and
Yeah.
then what sold
I
me
still
was
wasn't there. I still wasn't
she
there.
pulled me in some more with Bitch Better Have My Money.
I was there.
I used to feel that going to work. Like, y'all motherfuckers
Yeah.
better
I
have
don't
my
know if you
check.
remember,
Cake.
but Brianna came out right before our freshman year of high school. So we went to high school when the replay was all the rave or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
I hated Rihanna up into
I know because you
Umbrella.
hated her when I loved her.
I hated her into Umbrella, and then Umbrella reeled me in. I bought the Good Girl Gone Bad album.
Yeah, see,
But
And
she
it's-
stole Chris Brown fans too.
Well, she didn't ask him to be on. Well, she kind of did.
Right.
She kind of did.
Well, and I'll say this too, is I guess the musical, my musical opinion. It's cool about artists like Rihanna who are one of the most successful artists in the last decade, and those type of artists, it's cool to see because you can start liking them at different points versus other artists like who've been out for whatever or release them every year, whatever. You don't get into it because I knew who Rihanna was during the first two albums. She was doing dance hall stuff. I wasn't into it. I started paying attention to her doing Good Girl Gone Bad, but I didn't start liking her till probably pretty much when Rude Boy and stuff like that. But I definitely paid attention to her when she started doing like edgy stuff and started to do the music that she wanted to do.
The edgier stuff is when I really like needed me.
Yep.
And,
See, I went back and forth because I started liking her on Good Girl Gone Bad, and I liked her on Rated R. But then when she released Loud, I was really against the EDM thing when it first started. I embraced it later, but Loud came out right at the peak of it.
I never embraced the
it did.
EDM.
Oh, yeah.
I hated
I
that
hated
song.
Techno.
But
Oh my
what's my
God.
name?
But that was the era of dubstep.
Right, it was
Yeah,
EDM and
I
dubstep.
hated that.
But I hated it
era.
when it first started. I embraced it eventually. But when it first started and that album first came out, I was
Yeah.
like trash. Throw it
I
away.
still
Kanye
hate that
did
shit.
that. Kanye did
And
that.
I hated his
Kanye
album
started-
like
And
that
we're not
too.
gonna rob
Kanye
Lady
did
Gaga
that.
of her influence either.
And I hated her album
Bro.
like that too.
Whatever. Lady Gaga stole a lot of shit, but anyways.
Well, first of all, everybody's stealing shit. It's nothing new under the sun. So all of this shit is stolen and recycled. This what we were going through in the early 2010s was basically a repeat of the 80s. It was the same type of music that
80s, 70s,
I mean, that's
50s,
Beyonce shit though.
The 40s.
Like Beyonce's don't let the 80s go in everything she do.
yeah, she always got little funk and little horns and shit.
I'm telling you, Beyonce do not let the 80s
Beyonce,
go.
I just want you to have a personality. That's it. That's all. I don't know.
It's hard. I think
What do you
it's
What
hard
do you
when you
mean?
are. I mean, but it's because there's other people who
She's
we see
boring.
more of a personality. But yeah, when you are
But she
super
gonna give you a
successful
show.
like that,
You
it
don't need-
comes.
you don't.
It comes with some of that.
I don't want a machine. I want.
You
Jay
don't
Z
think
does.
so? Jay-Z funny as a motherfucker.
Jay Z has
to
a
me.
personality to me. Jay Z is funny. He's funny. You watch his
Yeah.
interviews. He's funny, and he's very sarcastic, which I love.
He is. But
that's a personality trait. You
Very
know what I'm
bland.
saying? Funny is like a personality trait.
And
So-
I just think that's a New York nigga for you. Like,
Hands down.
mhm.
While we talking about our New York shit, did y'all watch the Versus?
No.
with who?
With who?
It was the Locks and
Right
and Dipset.
Girl, you gonna ask
No,
my
I
gay
didn't
ass
see
that I
that.
watched?
I didn't, but I'm I'll go back and watch it.
Wait, the
I
Locks and
respect it
Dipset.
all.
Ain't
Jadakiss.
Dipset like 2000?
I don't even know who the Knox
Yeah.
is. I know who Dipset is.
They do
And-
plenty 2000s.
But the
people.
Locks is more 90, ain't it? Or is that 2002?
No, they're 2000s.
All of those
Damn.
Styles P.
They
and Jadakiss.
90s and 2000s, honestly.
What's their
But
most
wait,
popular
did Styles
song?
P
The
come
Knox.
out in the 80s though?
You would have to hear it. I don't think you would know if I said the name, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And Wild Out will be the 2 years now.
What spot? How while I go?
See, you gotta hear it. Like I
Are
said,
we taking a quick break while he looked up this song? You ain't gonna take a break. I wanted to talk about the baby before I left.
Oh, we finna wrap it up anyway. We can.
Speaking
we
of
can
sex
Wrap
work,
it up with that.
now I'm
the baby
going to
obviously
be
got paid for sucking
charging.
dick in the parking lot.
Charge.
We the people are charging the baby with telling on himself.
Yes, the baby. I want $10,000 to suck your dick in the parking lot.
If that's what it's given.
I don't need that much though, cause you fine enough.
Right. That's what it's given.
Swizzy.
Yeah, don't know that.
The reason I asked is I was having a deep conversation on my page. Somebody was comparing Lil Nas to the baby.
Oh Lord.
No,
That
We
comparison,
cannot-
that
what
comparison
T.I.
makes
said?
no
Kills me.
sense.
The comparison was that, you know,
Somebody
if
tried that
straight
with me
people-
today.
Gay people could cancel the baby. Straight people should be able to cancel Lil Nas.
gay
But it's
people
like-
aren't canceling the baby. People living with HIV are canceling the baby.
Thank
This
you
is
for
the
saying that.
whole culture, the whole society that's affected by this disease. And you started out with saying, if you ain't here with HIV or any STD that's finna kill you in 2 to 3 weeks, do you know how miseducational that was? Like, and all the work that people in HIV have been doing for the last 50, 60 years, you just said, oh, fuck
Set
that.
us all the way back.
All the way.
I feel like you in that state watching Rent.
The baby look like a. Are you talking about the baby or yourself? I'm just playing.
Yes, so that comment on top, and so let's go back to the comparison. The comparison makes no sense because so you're basically why first you have to ask the questions like, so why are you trying to cancel Lil Nas X in the first place? Because you're uncomfortable with his sexuality, which is not a valid reason to cancel anybody, and that speaks to your problem and stuff like that. So how are you comparing that to anything that the baby said,
Well,
which is
fair,
uneducational, misleading, misinformed, and like basically an attack on people? And that's just the first comment, because I feel like he isn't really getting as much flack for the last one, because that's when people are like, well, he's just saying his opinion, because you can be proud to be straight and embrace her without putting down other people. Because your comment could have been, if you getting pussy, raise your hands. Not if you not a nigga sucking dick in the parking lot,
Right.
Raise your phone. Because what's wrong if there's men in the parking lot
Right.
sucking dick, and that's why it's a difference.
And gay people wouldn't have counseled him for just saying that shit.
I know many gay people that didn't care.
It's cancel culture.
Not for the baby. I feel like it's totally different.
You feel like, right, you're not gonna make money off of a person because of what they're saying and how they're presenting themselves. Of course, businesses are going to react. The baby is now
A business.
It's a brand, right?
Mhm.
If you're a business, people have the right to accept your services,
Mhm.
whether or not you are somebody that they approve of. People can deny
Mhm.
supporting you, and that's what's happening.
That's just
He's
like
getting all that support taken away because
Mhm.
you're
And that's- and I-
ignorant knowledge.
Yeah.
I hate this even with this whole freedom of speech things. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences.
Yeah.
So just because you can
Exactly.
say whatever you want to say, nobody said he could. They didn't cut his mic off. They let him talk.
they let him talk,
So,
right?
Did nobody say that he couldn't say what he wanted to say? But what he said, I have a right to feel also the way I want to feel about it. And if these organizations feel the same way, then that's their right too.
Because he offended more than one group of people.
Yeah.
Because not every person with HIV is gay.
Yep.
Period.
And then for your comeback video, for your explanation video, you said that the gay people,
I ain't even
my
try to
gay
watch
fans that's in the audience ain't living with HIV. They ain't these
Like, how
nasty
the fuck
motherfuckers
you know they
that's out
status,
here.
bro?
Bro
Like,
with
that's
the
the
crop
most
top,
ignorant
like,
shit.
you don't
Bro
even
with
know
the
you're
crop
gay.
top, right? Like what
Men
the
wear
fuck?
those things at festival
For
wear
real, for
is
real.
like
I've
wild.
seen so many straight dudes now with the smaller shorts. Like it's
Mhm.
ridiculous.
You can't assume that based off what a nigga is
Not
wearing.
at all.
Fuck out of here.
I don't understand it. Like, what I mean?
The fact that he associated with nastiness, though, like,
Yeah,
like
that's
people
what
aren't
fucks
born
me
with
up.
it, or people don't trust their partners
Right.
and are
All of
infected
that. All of
because
that.
the assumption is, oh, you must be promiscuous, and even if you are, don't shame that either.
Right.
You're not shaming that neither. Two consenting adults doing what they want to do as often as they want to do it in these streets, like we talking
That's
about
they
sex work.
motherfucking
That's their
business.
motherfucking business, and they know the risk. And if it happens to them, they don't make them nasty.
Yep.
Exactly.
Because it could be the person that's promiscuous. This could be the person that's born with it. It
Yeah.
could be the person breastfeeding from their mom. It could be the
Mhm.
person trusting their partner.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
you know, and like we just said, what you said earlier is like you can say whatever you want, but that doesn't mean it's no consequences. So the fact that
Exactly.
people are like, well, why can't we just educate? It's fine. There probably are people who
He
try.
didn't want to be educated.
He didn't want to
He
be
doubled down.
educated.
Exactly.
Google is very accessible right
It
through his
is.
little iPhone.
And is that much more okay to like if people don't want to educate you or don't want to take the time to tell you or feel like whatever, just go. You go. It's the same way if somebody called your mama a hoe, you could probably educate them or those, or you can not fuck with them ever again. And like you're
This is
you're
my
canceled
thing.
out of my life.
Right.
This
It's
is
as
my
simple
thing.
as
When you
that.
get backlash like that, it's like when white people was when white people started to become conscious last year, right? When everybody wanted to, and they wanted us to teach them. That's not my job. I have enough burden to carry
No.
living as a black
It's
man.
too many
Educate
history
yourself.
books.
Yes.
And if you have questions about the education that you're reading up on, then come to me. But you do the
Yes.
work first. So ain't no educate me. Educate
Yes.
yourself.
Right.
Put in the effort, and then if you have questions,
You
I'll
look
help
up
you.
anything else you want to know.
Hello?
We live
Right.
in a time when knowledge is literally in your
Right. What
At
is
your
white
fingertips
supremacy?
at all
What is
times.
Because
you
when,
know?
So there's
when
no
you get pulled
excuse.
over, they ain't gonna let you go because you gonna say, "Oh, I didn't know the law."
Exactly.
No.
Ignorance of the law doesn't excuse you
It
from being
doesn't.
persecuted.
A
So
good example is as a bank teller, we have the right to refuse service to a customer if they acting a fool. If you come in there acting a fool, being disrespectful or some shit, I have the right to tell you I'm not gonna do your transaction. You can go to another branch. Have
I'm
a
not
nice
working
day.
with your negative
Right.
account.
You know what I
anyway.
mean? Like we have the right. We have the right to refuse.
your actions have consequences.
Yeah.
And I think he didn't realize that when he doubled down, not once, not twice, but 3 times,
Mhm.
And it was
and
the
made it
baby.
worse. And then that apology that came out,
Yeah,
the one that his
Wasn't
publicist put out,
yeah.
He
that
finally
one pissed
got
me
one,
off
basically.
the most
Because we know he don't talk
I
like
know
that.
you didn't write that
Yes.
shit.
Yep.
Right.
You know, and another thing that's really been heightening the situation is all the celebrities that's coming out saying their opinions and shit. Whether
I.e.
it's for
Boosie
him,
and T.I.
whether it's for him or against him. Chris Brown said something, but he was against him. But we feel like, all right, nigga. you
You might want to not say
you've
Right.
been calm for a few years, but
Yeah.
you
That's
still
why he
should
You
said
might
it
not
the
want
way
to
he
say
said
sit
nothing.
this one out, Chris.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, but sit this
Because
one out.
we let your gay shit
T.I.,
go.
my nigga,
Right.
you still in court. Sit this one out,
Yeah,
bruh.
you might want to
He don't
worry
need
about
you backing
old
him.
girl
You making the
accusing you.
situation worse.
Way
Let's keep
worse.
it 100.
Boosie,
You don't need to be
you
a-
need to sit out gay
Oh
topics,
my God.
period.
Forever.
Boosie
Boosie
is
needs to shut
fucking
the
gay.
fuck up forever. I used to be such a
Bussy,
huge fan
Mr.
of yours.
Bussy, Mr. Bussy. Okay,
Bussy.
Bussy.
Bussy. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ooh.
That
Yes.
Bussy got
Right.
He like boy pussy.
Yes.
That's
And
why we call him Bussy.
Bussy.
And there's that other point of like we said, like these whole thing, and they talk about gay, they talk to Lil Not all these problems. Lil Boosie made a thing like, you know, in 10 years, people,
being
it's gonna
gay
be,
being straight won't be normal.
yeah.
What?
It's like all these straight people are continuing to comment on things that don't pertain or
They ain't got nothing to do
LGBT
with your
issue
ass.
things. So what? And you don't see gay people worried about what
Oh,
you're
look at
talking
those straight
about or
people.
what
Why
you're
the fuck they
doing.
kissing
I don't
and
want to
That's
take
my
away
point.
your right to be married.
Right.
I don't want you not to be treated like an equal human.
I don't
being
want
because
you to
have a
not
different
exist.
sexual
I don't want you to
You know
not
what?
adopt kids because you can't have
Somebody had
kids.
said something
normally.
about, they didn't say. Oh, well, you get yours in.
All right, so after Brittany's birthday party and after Jamal's birthday party, Brittany came to me and was like, who was it? Who was it?
I think it was Terrell.
Terrell. Yeah, no, Terrell came to me and was like, no, Doug, how can you be around so many gay people? It's like, they're people. You know what I mean? What y'all do don't affect me.
Just because they don't see the
respect
people.
y'all just as much as y'all respect me. You know what I mean? Y'all tend to calm down when I'm around, and I appreciate that. Even then,
I wasn't there,
but even then, if it gets too much, I know when to step away. 'Cause
Yeah.
what
It was
y'all
at
do
your barbecue, actually.
don't affect me.
Right.
You feel me? Like it's like saying to a white person, "How can you be around so many black people?"
Mm-hmm.
We're all-
But that's just why they don't see them as people.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they don't.
Nope, they don't see us
You know
as
what I mean?
people.
That's
Mm-mm.
insane.
Yeah, and just realizing that, like you said, like what another person does doesn't, affect me, or it's not gonna make me uncomfortable. All LGBT people are trying to just exist because we've been here as long as
Been
everybody
here.
else. We've been here,
Been
but we
here.
never had the space to do that.
And as black
Yeah.
people, we should not marginalize anybody.
Other
Absolutely.
And that's what I don't
Right.
like about Pan-Africanism. Like, I'm all for it. Like Dr. Umar Johnson, I'm all for him, right? But when he get to talking on why gay people are, and it's because of slavery and all this.
Oh
other
my
stuff,
God.
That's the opposite
Are
of
you serious?
Pan-Africanism.
You not finna. You
He
not
feel like we
finna
were
take out my
sodomized by our
life.
slave masters. He
Yeah.
feel like we were sodomized by our slave masters. and
Yeah.
they are the reason.
But it's
I
like,
have
no,
known
bro,
this man
you aren't.
But he's a fraud, and I won't get into that
I've known this
because I'm still waiting on
man
his school to open up and the money that he raised for the school.
before
Trying to
he
figure out
ever
where
thought
that went
about
to.
dating anybody, before he ever thought about having a crush. This man was born gay.
Period.
Dead ass.
Umar Johnson.
No,
No, the
Who?
Donnie.
No.
Oh.
Come on,
Donna,
Donnie.
I can't
Because
claim.
I'm
I'm like,
disproving
Umar
what he had
Johnson.
to say. This man was born gay.
Yeah.
Until Umar opens up the school and he ain't got shit.
yeah, he ain't got
Yeah.
shit to say because
True
you take
shit.
these people money.
Man, they ain't
But I
funding
want to
that
say
school.
one thing
That
about
made
little.
me mad.
Lil-
I be getting offended. Like I'm an ally of the community. That should be upsetting me.
Child, I just want to say one more thing because I know we're running late on time, and I
Yeah.
just want to say this
Please,
about Lil Nas X comparison. Like, if Lil Nas X can express himself, the baby should be able to express himself. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that sentiment because
Yep.
Lil Nas X is not trying to marginalize or take anything away from people. He's simply trying to exist. He's simply trying to be in a space to be himself. And if it's like with women being provocative, right? If you don't like it, then you monitor what your children watch.
Nobody
you
ever
don't
said
watch it.
anything
Right.
about
You didn't
Madonna
like
kissing
WAP
Britney Spears.
Yes.
Honestly, no, they did though. They did.
They
But they did, but not
Yeah.
at the same capacity.
Nuh-uh.
But they did. But my thing is, if you don't like something, don't watch it. When it comes to women being provocative,
I
like
just
WAP got a
hate
lot of backlash.
I just hate
Don't
when they
watch
bring
it.
the kids into it. You are the parent, but you're allowing your
Look,
child
let me tell you
to
Tell her
watch
go to
something.
sleep,
adult
baby.
shows. Adult shows.
Let
But
me
then
tell you
watch
something.
our adult
I watched
shows.
adult shows
Like
as a
what?
kid, and I watched a lot of straight people kissing and hurting and having
Fuck
sex. It didn't make
absolutely.
me fucking straight.
Adult
And that was
Swim.
my next
Okay.
point too.
Fucking
Thank
adults
you.
watching straight porn did not make
Yeah.
me straight. I still
Let me
watch
tell you
straight
something.
porn.
I
It did
started
not make
watching
me
porn
straight.
early because my grandfather used to leave it on the TV from the night before, and I was always the first
Damn.
one in the basement after him.
Damn, what's
So
she
I started
doing?
watching porn real early. It ain't do shit.
Shit, my uncles used
Ain't
to watch
alter
that shit with
It
me.
ain't do
Tapes
shit.
around.
I'm
and
telling
TV.
you.
I didn't start. I mean, I
Tapes from my
started fucking early, but not as
And,
early as the other
I feel like
bitches
every
in my
generation
school.
of kids gets smarter. So, like, just like we was sneaking and doing stuff our parents had no idea about, you can protect your kids all you want. But I'm telling you, there's a will, there's a way. If
Yep.
a kid is curious about something, they will find out. And if
Yep.
your child is
Yeah.
innately gay, it's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
If they're
Nothing.
innately straight, it's nothing you could do about
Exactly.
it. Your child's sexuality, I feel like, it's
Because
not
I was born
influenced
boy
by outside culture.
crazy.
Hello?
I was
Nah,
born,
and-
but I can remember being like 3-4 years old talking about having a boyfriend, bro. Like,
But
Yeah.
shit, don't count me out. I still want a girlfriend one
Exactly,
day.
and that speaks to the thing.
He
Don't
tripped
count
me
me
out
out.
talking about some fucking
Right.
bitches.
Shit.
Excuse
And
me,
as
for
much
real.
as it's okay to know exactly what you want, there's also power in not knowing and find out that, like, I didn't discover that I was into guys right away.
Mhm.
And it's
Right.
okay if people who know that right from the beginning. And it's so people who might discover that later in life.
Mhm.
It's power in all of it because it is a spectrum and it's okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's why
Basically, who people having sex with is really
Ain't
nobody
nobody
else's
else's
Nobody's
business.
business.
Right. That's why I
Whether
do
they
what I
doing
do.
it for a living to get their rent paid or they just doing it just for the fuck of it. It ain't your goddamn business.
And that's why I do what I do. Like,
Mind
I-
the business that
as
pays
a
you, child.
formal introduction, like later.
We gonna leave soon too. We
For the
about to
second
wrap it
time.
up.
Oh yeah, as a formal introduction,
Yeah.
I am Core the Advocate. I advocate
That's
for
right.
sex positivity as a means for increased sexual education
That's
and
right.
for the normalization of living with HIV and for equity for Black people.
That's right.
Simple.
Period.
It ain't simple, but
There's actually
I'm
more
sorry,
to it,
y'all
but
be twins. We
Right.
We
can't
didn't
help
think
it.
all day today though, more than usual.
Yeah, it's been a little weird.
but yeah, sex posit up. Have
Yeah.
more conversation and communicate more about
That's
sex
right.
because that's all sex is.
I
It's a
actually,
communication.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I saw a status today where this guy, I guess he said that he in the past he used to make bitches get tested before they will fuck, and motherfuckers used to say he was doing too much, but now a lot of them same bitches is starting to like test their partners more. I don't understand why that hasn't always been a thing. When me and Doug first met, that was the first thing we did because we had both just gotten out of relationships or whatever. So we was like, we don't know what these other motherfuckers was on because my nigga was cheating on me, his bitch was questionable, so we was like, let's go together.
Accountability, though. That's what
And I was
testing
gonna
is.
say, I feel like
Accountability.
testing in general, and this is just my opinion, in a lot of straight communities, I think historically has not been talked about because my mom, I didn't know what the hell getting a test was at all
They always
until I had to
assume
find
it's
out.
gay people
Or the
stuff.
only thing, and the only thing you were worried about growing up was just not getting a girl
HIV.
pregnant.
Yeah.
In that.
That's
in
all you're
that.
taught. That's
Yeah.
all sex.
HIV, like
pull-out
gonorrhea
message.
didn't exist, or like
Yeah.
chlamydia didn't exist. I didn't even like know about this stuff until like being grown.
Mm.
Like all I heard was HIV and pregnancy. That's what my
Yeah.
mama was worried about. I want you to get pregnant.
He said people
My
like to deal with the
mom,
unknown.
when she went back to school while we were, this her calling me now. I gotta get ready to go.
Come
My
get this
mom,
baby.
when we were in school, she started going back to college, and she had to take a sex education course because she's a social worker. And she would come and she would talk to me about every single page, child, every single page.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting extremely educated. At some
Child,
point.
that's the luck of the draw because
At some point, I was
my
already
mama
fucking
didn't
when she
ask
did
me
it, but
about
still.
whether or not I was having sex until I was 18. And I had started I wasn't giving oral sex. I started receiving oral sex at 13 years old. So from 13 to 18, I never had sexual intercourse. I was just receiving head from much older men.
Yeah.
But when I turned 18, I had my first like actual sexual encounter. And it was well after that, she asked me like, are you having sex? It's time to sit down and talk about it. I'm like, girl,
It's too late. And that's why like STDs and HIV, like I want to say, that's why they run rampant in our community, because we aren't having sex outside of our community. We ain't going to Chicago. We go to Chicago.
We're not going to different
but
races.
we're not going to different
yeah.
races and different social groups to have sex and date other people. So
Spread it amongst
our
ourselves.
chances of getting these things are higher because we dipping in that pool. It's like, okay, this is a pool of gonorrhea. This is a pool of syphilis. More of the people have it than they don't, and it's a rising. And so if I'm gonna dip in this pool, I got a higher chance of getting it. But people ain't thinking.
And then
like
you're dealing
that.
with a bunch of people who equally don't know or weren't educated on, or weren't, parents didn't talk about it and stuff like that. And you have to find these things out the hard way because, like, only thing I ever heard about sex was just like, you better not be having sex.
That part.
That's
Oh
it.
my God, my
Better not be
mama,
having
like,
sex.
I love my mama to death, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm about to cut out on y'all. But my mama, she used to come to me and she'd be like, "You can tell me anything. We can talk about it. When you ready to have sex, we can go to the clinic." Woo woo. And then the very next day, she would be like, "Bitch, if you had sex, I would no motherfucking." So once I finally started fucking, I didn't know which mama I was gonna get, so I never
She
told her
said, "I ain't know
until I
which
had
mama I
my
was gonna
miscarriage
get."
at 16. Because I'm like, "Bitch, I can't even tell
And
you. I
women,
don't know which one I'm gonna get."
so many girls that have miscarriages, or even worse,
Their
being
bodies
into,
wasn't ready and stuff.
And
like that.
unfortunately, my older sister was battling cancer and stuff at the time, so she couldn't really be there for me the way she wanted to be and give me the type of guidance and information that I needed. And I'll never fault her for that because having ovarian cancer at such a young age, that shit was rough. But
yeah, and that's why I think like more women, especially Black women, need more education around sexual health, sexual education, because
postpartum, all
of that, because
that.
it's just.
I want to end saying this in reference to Black women, because I think that Black women who are homophobic is the most detrimental thing that you can do to yourself, because if you want a man to be able to be comfortable and honest with his sexuality so that he doesn't feel like he has to hide it and bring you things that he's contracted because he's he's afraid to be himself. So I definitely think that, and Black women, y'all have influence, because if y'all I feel like
y'all have the greatest influence,
because once Black women accept us wholeheartedly across the board, it'll force not force, but it'll naturally progress into black men
We don't
doing
care
the
about
same.
nobody else's acceptance.
So in other
but
words,
black
follow
women's.
the queen, honey.
Yes.
The queen of the day.
Your queen,
Okay?
save your queen, follow your
my
queen. She'll
lead,
never steer
baby.
you wrong.
Follow my lead.
Shout out to my
Accept
best
these
friend
brothers
Tiana
and
Bremer.
sisters and
Yes.
everybody, and
Period.
just love them because
Day
they
one
love
since
us.
day one.
Dead
Yes.
ass. I get plenty.
I don't
love.
know where
feel
I
like-
would be without a black
When
woman.
I say I'm the queen of the gays, I really do feel like that because they really fuck with me like that. Like, and I be finding like strays, like random gays, like in random places, and I'm like, of course
Hey.
you you
Come
gravitate
with
to
me.
me. Of course you do, baby, because you know this is home right here. So ladies,
Mother.
Step into my bosom.
Mother.
mother, baby, come rest your head on the book.
But you know, as we wrap up
My
episode
nigga.
1 of season 3, hope
a great
everybody
episode.
enjoyed, you know, this comeback. And we like to thank Corey, the advocate, of course, for coming on and sharing his wisdom.
Here's the baby looking
Appreciate
ass.
you. This the good
We
baby.
trying hard not to hate
It's
him.
not the
This
good baby.
this the
This
this
the
the
toddler.
good one.
Not the baby
The other one
Jesus.
is the
toddler.
evil one.
It's the
and
toddler.
shit.
This the toddler. We
No, nigga, I think we the same age. No,
Not the toddler.
the baby my
Baby's
age.
like 30
All right,
something now.
so-
Yeah. But we this is Horizontal Refreshment season 3. We'll see y'all not next Wednesday, but
No, we will see them the last week of August because we're not doing a show in 2 weeks. So I'll be in Hawaii.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I won't be here, but we'll do our last show the last week of August. So we'll keep y'all waiting for 3. Sorry.
All right. Well, we'll see you later.
Peace.
Deuce.
Mine is too.
Ah.